Okay, so if you're just here for a form video, I'm gonna hit play, we'll watch some reps, some setup, and then afterwards I'll break it down a little bit more in depth. Okay, we'll stop it there. Let's start from the setup. You guys are crisscrossing your hands. So the right hand's grabbing the left hand, the left cable, left hand's grabbing the right cable. And what I'm grabbing here is this little knob at the end of the cable. So if you look here, you can see this cable, or if you look right here, this cable has a little knob. I'm gonna grab the rope and the knob right here. That's where I'm gonna grab. And you'll see my right hand grabs it right there. Watch it again, right hand grabs it right there. That's gonna be the most comfortable for you guys. Next, what I'm gonna do is I like to keep my body relatively close to the cable. What I don't want is I don't want this cable to travel in front of this line right here. And so I back up one step, not too far. I am still very close to the cables here, as you should be. I use a staggered stance and a very, very slight forward lean, not too much lean. I would rather you guys more upright, less leaned. Then in this left side picture, you can see my elbows are off the side of my body. The biggest mistake that people are gonna make is they're gonna keep their elbows tucked into their side, because that's what you've always done with your tricep movements. You've kept your elbows tucked in. That is what we are rectifying with this movement, is not keeping our elbows tucked in. It's gonna be a little bit better if we're working the long head of the tricep, which is actually this guy right here. So let's look back at this. We're gonna crisscross and we'll look at the right side of the video, where I use a staggered stance and a very, very, very slight forward lean, but I'm still relatively close to the cable. I'm not stepped back very far. We will do another variation in the future that we use a stepped back position. And then in the left side video, we'll see that my elbows are off the side of my body. Okay, from here, we're gonna look at this lockout position right here. So obviously this camera angle isn't great because it's shooting from the floor up, but if the cable was at the same height as, let's say, my upper back, where the words are on my shirt, you would see that my arms and the cable are in the same line. That is the goal. You are treating your arms as an extension of the cable. And so if someone were videoing from straight behind you, they should not be able to see the cable because it will be in line with your arm. That is a good reminder of where your arms should be in this movement. They should be in the same line as the cable. Now, a lot of people will get to this position on the left really well. But as they start to bend their elbows and go back towards the lengthened position here, they will move their elbows in and they will start to tuck their elbows, right? They might end up in the right position here in the short position, in this elbow locked out position. But as they start to bend, a lot of people are gonna bring their elbows back into their body. Do not do that. That is the number one mistake I see people make, is they bring their elbows and they tuck them into their body. The second mistake I will see people make is this elbow should not move forward and back throughout the movement. Right? I should not be bringing my elbow back in front of my body and then pulling it back into this position. The elbow shouldn't move. And so I want you to watch this picture right here and just watch my elbow staying in place. My elbow is not traveling in front of my body. I'm not pulling it back. It's not moving forward and back. It's staying in place. The only thing that's moving in this video, or the only things that are happening, is I'm flexing and extending the elbow. I'm not moving the shoulder at all. Cool. If you're super nitpicky, you can actually see that I might have actually been doing that a little bit. I might actually have, in the first couple of reps, I don't do it. But as you fatigue, your body's gonna wanna figure out ways to make this easier. And so one of the ways to make it easier is to incorporate other muscles. And one thing you can do really easily is start to move the elbow forward and back, so that you can incorporate a little bit more of the shoulder into this movement. And then the last thing we'll talk about is creating some upper back tension. What I'd like you to do is when you get into this position, before you start, I don't want you to retract your shoulder blades. I don't want you to pinch your shoulder blades together, but I do want you to create some tension in the upper back. And some of you guys will feel some sensation in the upper back, and that's okay. If you're struggling with that, that's probably because you've never actually had to use a lot of those muscles, and that's okay. That will come. You will improve over time. All right. Quick recap here. Hands are going to crisscross on the cable. You're going to grab the knob on the cable. You're going to stay maybe one little step back away from the cable. Maybe you're going to use a staggered stance if that's comfortable for you. Maybe a slight forward lean, but not too much. Elbows are going to be off your body as an extension of the cable. As you extend out, they remain an extension of the cable, and as you bend inward to lengthen the tricep, they stay where they're at. Your elbows should not move at all / very much during this movement. All right? If you have any questions, send a form video and we'll talk about it.